Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. I have to tell you that this is going to be a rare broadcast for me. Very often, we like to spend our time on the positive side of things. And today we're going to go a bit negative. The reason that we're going to go a bit negative is I had an amazing experience this week that I want to share with my community. And you know what? Hopefully you're not part of the community and you come and you join us and we have a conversation about this, because quite frankly, this is the kind of stuff that I don't like very much. If you couldn't tell, a little bit on fire this morning. There might be some aggressive language, but I kind of had it this week. And so I want to kind of walk you guys through that. So we all watch all the millions of ads on YouTube and on Instagram talking about how real estate's passive income. And yeah, mostly that's true. And then we hear people talk about how it's easy. So it's not easy. I'm here to be the first one to tell you that. It's not easy. It is hard, but very worth it. And the fact of the matter is that most things worth doing are hard. You need to educate yourself. You need to skill up. You're going to be nervous. You're going to be insecure. You're going to be a lot of these things. And so in advance, I apologize. There's going to be a lot of things that I say that really offend people. And hopefully you guys understand where it's coming from. Really where it's coming from is I was extremely annoyed. And then I got pissed off, and kind of now I'm exacting revenge, quite frankly speaking, just because it's a big old bucket of garbage. So the reason that we're having this tone of a live stream today, and guys, I get it. This isn't for everybody. There's going to be a lot of people that might not want to listen to this, but I just tell you the way that it is. This week I got a call from code enforcement. And I got a call because a tenant of mine, this spoiled infant moron, decided because I couldn't use small enough words to help them understand how the heating system worked, that I was violating the law. I think you guys know me well enough, those of you who have watched me for any amount of time, that I take what I do pretty seriously because I look at it as a service, and we're a services type of business. But the fact of the matter is that no one is going to piss in my Cheerios. Got it? So at the end of the day, this person called code enforcement. They then went overboard and started citing all of these things that were known about the property. We disclosed it. We let them know it. They were good with it. We let them know, hey, this is an issue for you. No worries. We had a weekend where we had 18 showings in 2 hours. I had 9 qualified groups of people. These, quite frankly, were the most qualified. Some credit scores in the 800s. Another new lesson for some of you here. Those 800 credit scores can often be accompanied by an attitude. The reason that you see this Stein next to me is because this is in honor of Dion. I will likely need all of what was in here to get through this, because quite frankly, it pissed me off to such a level. Yeah, it was bad. I take people in stride. I brush them off. I make fun of them. This is how I do things. And the fact of the matter is that these idiots don't get the fact that I'm the landlord. I'm the owner. It's mine. I rent it to you. I let you pay me for use of it. So before all these tenants out there start thinking that they're smarter than the landlord, and that they've made a bunch of great life decisions that make them renters, I'm here to give you a comeuppance. The fact of the matter is that they called code enforcement to be punitive. They called code enforcement because they were too stupid and too dumb to understand, and too lazy to do the work. Me being a good landlord, I did everything I could to explain it to them. I even made the mistake of making $1,000 repair, adding something for their unit, that the whole reason that needed to be added was because they were lying about the rest. So yeah, I'm pissed more than just a little bit. I have a name and a reputation in the areas that I do business, and you guys need to know that you only get one name, you only get one reputation as a landlord. You do it right. You do it right, you treat people right, and you know what? You're going to get some licks, way it goes. But at the end of the day, I actually was really bothered by the fact that these people have no honor, no character, and no integrity. It called into question my reputation. It called into question all the hard work that we put in. And so I want to encourage you landlords out there, you newer landlords, don't be bullied by tenants. You'd be shocked and surprised. Now, when things come up, when things need fixing, it's our job to get them fixed in a timely manner. It's our job to communicate that they're being fixed in a timely manner, recognizing there's supply chain issues and that we have some problems with supply chain. And sometimes you just can't get the things that you need. You still got to communicate it, still got to figure out a way to address it the best you possibly can. But here's what I would tell you. Because my records are impeccable, I was able to send everything to code enforcement and show them that yes, while they had made these requests, that they had not gone unanswered. That yes, while they had made these outlandishly stupid claims, they were untrue because all of the information was disclosed and shared. But now I'm thankful for the experience. The reason that I'm thankful for the experience is that code enforcement now knows that I won't take tenants' garbage, number one. And number two, and most importantly, my reputation remains intact and actually better because they saw the responses that tenant got. They saw the information that was shared with that tenant. They saw how I took care of issues. They saw exactly what that tenant experience was. And guess what? That case was closed, and it was closed the same day that the inspector went on site. So what I would tell you as a landlord is it's not always smooth sailing. We are going to have these subhuman morons. All tenants are not that, but some are. And you have to be equipped and ready to deal with them. So one of the things that I do in my course is I give you that playbook. I'll cover some of it, but quite frankly, it's too in-depth to give you all that's in the playbook. But the fact of the matter is that they're tenants because largely they made decisions that weren't as good as ours as landlords. We work hard. We have a side hustle. We make this a priority. That's why I respect landlords. Now, if you're a slumlord, I'm sorry, you're not in that group. That model might work. I look at it as a business model. That model might work, but I don't like it. I don't like that model at all. Because I think that you're only setting yourselves up for a really stressful time. And more than a stressful time, I think you're doing the wrong thing. So I want to encourage you landlords that are here today, or potential landlords, that no, it's not always easy. Yes, you will be lied about. Yes, you will be lied to. And yes, people will try and get vindictive because some of these tenants have no honor. They have no character. They have no integrity. And so they will be the ones to learn the hard lesson, because now where they would normally find grace and understanding, they will now find me managing to the letter of the law and the lease. Don't kid yourselves, tenants. The fact of the matter is that there are many things that a landlord can cite you for. Most landlords. It's in their lease. They've thought this out. They've done the work. And so you are often dealing with somebody that is willing to have grace for a situation because they try and put yourself in their shoes. This is the majority of landlords. They try and put themselves in the tenant's shoes, or remember when they were renting, and they want to be working with people and they know that this is a relational business. However, if you choose to do the wrong thing, you choose to be vindictive, you choose to put someone's reputation in question, then I have zero issue. Grace is out the window. And it's time that you deal with the letter of the law. And so this is what this tenant will be doing for the remainder of their lease. I will be managing them within the letter of the law. And they have no idea the level of which they will violate a lease at almost every turn, because my lease is 8 pages and it's there to keep us both honest. But sadly, they've chosen to be dishonest and have no honor and no character and no integrity. So their life is going to change, because whereas they used to get grace on a late fee, that will no longer happen. Where they used to get grace about being something left in the front lawn, that will no longer happen. So what I would tell you is this: it is important that we act and work with our tenants. It's important that you're a good landlord. It is important that you address things quickly. It is important that you document all of these types of interactions, because that is what helped this case close within an hour of the official getting back to his office. Within an hour, the paperwork was closed out. So I will tell you, be encouraged. Tenants, landlords will not be bullied. And the fact of the matter is that it's high time that we take the bad tenants and the bad landlords out of the system. So I am open now for questions. I apologize for the somber, direct, and aggressive tone of the opening of this, but I felt like it had to be said, because this experience this week, I'll be honest, it really bothered me, because I can certainly financially go after this tenant for filing a false claim. And that's not off the table. It's not off the table yet. Because I can prove that they were being punitive. But most importantly, my reputation stays intact, and the city knows that I am a person of honor and character and integrity, because I was able to prove it all out. Put yourselves in that position. Don't make it your word against theirs. Have it in black and white. This is the advice that I would give to any landlord, is ensure that if it ever does end up in a court proceeding or in a he said, she said, that you have the documentation to reflect as such, because now they are the little boys that cried wolf. All right, let's jump into it, my gents. All right. Feel a little bit better, not a lot better, but a little bit better. I'm going to feel better over the next 3 months. It's going to be a long 3 months for them, because they're not model tenants. Ninja Vanish 24/7. Ola, good morning. Again, fair warning, this will be offensive. Michelle Meyer, hola, buenos dias. Matias, good morning. Happy to see you, Michelle. The Yoder, I got the first like. Offended, I will not be. The truth I will embrace. None better said, Yoder. This is exactly what we're talking about. It's just truth. It's just truth. Guys, you only have one reputation. And more tenants will always poo-poo their landlords. And the fact of the matter is that it's largely because they make bad life decisions, and thus they will not be owners of things. That's not the majority, that's a minority. But keep in mind that they're usually your most vocal critic, and they're usually your most vocal tenant. All-Nighter Hider, good morning. Bonjour. Don, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Don. Just shared this live. Thank you, Hyder. I appreciate that. T, good morning. Howdy. So glad to be here to learn. You're the best. KS, I appreciate that very much. I don't know that I'm the best, but I am pretty good. Robert Farinelli. Hello, Matt. I like offensive. Serious question. All right, I'm ready. Ready on? Good morning. Guys, by the way, this reminds me, boot camp is almost full. I think that there is one spot left, maybe two. So if you were considering the boot camp, it's a 12-week period. The boot camp's 12 weeks. So the next time that we will be doing it won't be until, let's see, we'll be scheduled. That'll be starting sometime in February. So February, March, April, May, it might start June. June is when we might start. So just as an FYI, if you want to do the boot camp, if you have something coming up for the boot camp, you've already purchased the course, you can get the boot camp as an add-on. If you haven't purchased the course yet, you can do the course and the boot camp. Because it's pre-order, because it's not live yet, it's still a $500 discount. Wanted to make sure you guys were aware of that, because when I looked this morning, there are literally, it's either 1 or 2 spots is all that's left. And then we actually shut off the boot camp because we will not allow more than 20 students in any one boot camp. I want to make sure that boot camp students get that full hour with me. We're asking questions, working with each other. And then we also have a separate chat group during the week as well, because it will be focused on that week's lesson. All-nighter. Thanks, Robert. Yes, sir. Matthew Paris. Howdy. Good morning. Richard Gamino. Great morning, Matt. And everyone. Thank you, Richard. Laura. Good morning, everybody. Bring the tough love. That's what we're doing. KS, preach it. I appreciate you. Frank Contreras, good morning. Daniel Fiore, I go hard with the white paint, newly renovated. I do not like Asylum White. On trim, yes, but nothing else. Mary Beth Shovik, good morning, Mary Beth. Good to have you here. I know that you're new to the channel. Welcome. All-nighter, you smell that? Smells like that lease just is not getting renewed. Yeah, basically, that's the easiest part, Hyder. Honestly, that's the easiest part. That's the easiest part. I just have no tolerance for vindictive. I just will not tolerate that. I won't be bullied. I don't care what number of people they want to call. I have everything in black and white, all disclosures that they sign. Everything is there. Everything is proven. So the fact that you're a weasel and a worm will be exposed. Robert Farinelli, short as possible. Okay. Tenant turn-in dated unit and a very short on cash like you were in 08. Yep, let's call it 2000 budget. What should I do? My idea, paint, electrical fixtures, maybe some flooring. Robert, I have you're in the course, I think. Course is going live in 9 days. If you can wait, I've got everything in there. Everything. So if you can wait 9 days, everything is in there. Paint is an easy, good start. And that's something that you can probably do yourself or get done pretty cheap, but paint is an amazing start. The only thing I would tell you is if it's older and dated and it's in rough shape, there's a bunch of things that I cover in the course. It's way too much for me to cover today because literally it's 2 modules. It's over 30 minutes of information that I give you on how to do that on a budget. So 9 days away. That's the best that I can tell you. Paint I would go with, but there's a bunch of things I do before paint. Walls, not really a whole lot, but on trim and things like that, there's a bunch of stuff in there. Matthew Paris, holy bejesus, I can't stand 800 credit score tenants. Yep, that's correct. They've been by far my most problematic, nitpicky, dumb shush. Yes, tenants. Every time it's something stupid they call about. Yeah, what's really interesting to me is, so I have an 800 credit score. It's actually 845 is my credit score. I never treat people the way that I get treated by the people that have 800 credit scores. They are obnoxious. And they're largely, I found those tenants to be useless. Can't change a light bulb, can't figure out the dumbest thing, don't understand how a GFCI switch works when they plug 2 things into it and it tripped. They don't know that they can just hit the reset button. There's like no self-exploring, no nothing. It's like something doesn't work, pick up the phone. Something doesn't work, pick up the phone. Send me a text message. It's not an emergency. Send me a text. Go to the portal that we pay money to set up so you can go and file something. Not that difficult. Honest to God. So yeah, exactly right. Blankenship. My tenants have always been nightmares. They always have zero respect for the property. So Blankenship, what I will tell you is this. I have found that's either one of two things. Please don't get offended. This is just my experience. I have found that that's either one, the landlord doesn't care enough about the space to do the things that need to be done to bring it up a class, or two, bad tenant selection. These are both things that I teach in my course. They're extensive. This course is going to be about 9 hours. I condensed 20 years of landlording into 9 hours. That's how densely packed this is. You're going to watch videos 2, 3, 4, 5 times. That's why I wanted to do the videos, is because it gives you the ability to access it anytime you want. But that's what I can tell you, Blankenship. This isn't a blame game. I'm just telling you that there's probably some things that you can change about your business to make it a whole lot better. Because while I had this one a-hole, I have 380 others that aren't. And admittedly, this one got through. This one got through. I've been appalled. I've been appalled at their lack of character, lack of honor. That's a word we don't use enough today, is honor. And it's frankly because too many people don't have it. Thumbs up. Thanks, Matt Bittner. Robert Farinelli. Also, the countertop is somewhat damaged, so that might replace that with a butcher block. So I would do if you need to do something countertop, butcher block. Right now you can get decent butcher block from LL or from one of the big box stores. HD has it right now. You can get like an 8-foot piece for a couple $100. You can get poly and stain. I mean, you can be $250 all in to the countertop. And and if your tradesman's going to install it, it's not more than an hour, or it's probably 2 hours worth of work to cut the hole, slide it into place, and then get that done. So yeah, that probably, honestly, that probably helps you. Lumberjack Landlord, bad tenants make me curious about selling houses with lease options. Yeah, I wouldn't sell a house with a lease option, but that's just me. I don't really sell a whole lot of houses. But yeah, just my take on it. I don't, that's not for me. I know that that's a big Chris Crone thing. He's obviously made the model work. He obviously knows the pitfalls of the model. But yeah, that one's not for me. All-nighter hider, documentation beats conversation every time, 1000% of the time. Now, while in email, so here's what these cowards also did. They actually brought things up to the inspector that they never brought up to me ever. And so I sent him the documentation and I said, they've never filed anything about that. So I had no idea. He's like, I see. He got the picture real clear. And you know what? He had to explain to those dopes how a heat system works, because I tried to explain it and it didn't work out very well for them. And I was very nice about it. I was very forgiving, but you might need to go back to the drawing board. I think whatever you're doing, you're probably overemployed. John Irvin, sounds like they won't be in your running to renew their lease. Not in a million years. Have you ever had problems with getting a tenant out at the end of a lease that otherwise you would have moved towards eviction? So I think one time in 20 years we had that problem, just once. And the one time that we did, I basically just said, because they were there past the first, I said, you now owe a new month's rent. So, and I'm coming after you for it. And I'm going to file eviction papers because you've overstayed. And now I'm going to start going for damages because I have somebody else ready to move in. So I'm going to start going for damages. The situation remedied itself within about 3 days. So yeah, they were out. They ended up being out within 3 days. I gave the tenant a credit, and it needed some time to get the place ready. And so we did full extent of the law there because the tenant just decided to be difficult. So full extent of the law there, we kept every part of their deposit that we legally could, which normally we're not really hard on deposits. We usually give a lot back. So yeah, in this particular case, we just used the agreed to terms and law. Nick Ragland Johnson. Good morning. Good morning, Nick. Matt Bittner, with lease option, if the buyer doesn't exercise their option to purchase during the option period, they lose the down payment money. Yes, that's true. Yep. Rob, don't make him angry. You wouldn't like him when he's angry. It's true. Yeah, ask my wife. Not at her. Not at her. When she's seen these situations in the past, they don't happen very often. But when they do, yeah. The Yoder, you got this one. One bad tenant out of 135. Yep. I would take that any day over dealing with New York State OGS, which I currently am doing at my day job. Yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. It's not, that's why it doesn't, there's going to be people that watch that video and go, see, I wouldn't want to do that. That's awful. No, it's horrible. Yeah. What's your retirement plan, bro? 40 for 40. Enjoy. I'll pass. Cause I'm going to end up doing 25 for 180%. So enjoy that action. But that's the way people are. That's the way people are. Dion talk financial freedom. Every time you hit the like button, an angel gets its wings. Thanks, Dion. Appreciate you, pal. Bosco Bells. How can it be eminent domain when you stole America? Oh, another doofus. Congratulations, Bosco. Happy to have a Discord with you. Happy to have a conversation. But if you're going to be a doofus, I'll just block you. John Irwin, where can I learn more about your new course? Does the course allow to be taken on my own schedule? Yeah, John, it does actually. Yep. That was the whole reason I did it the way that I did it. So John, you'll find a video. It's called, oh shit, I'm a landlord. Now what? It's actually on the channel. And if you go to right to my website, you can see it too, but you can just click on it. The whole syllabus is in there and you can do the course at your own pace. And then you can also, if you decide to, we have a boot camp option where it allows people to skill up. Bosco Bells, renter? Yeah, for sure. Yep. Without a doubt. KS, do tenants that act like that usually trash the place? Not usually, because they have high credit scores and they know that they know now that I will not suffer fools. So yeah, I mean, if you want to trash it, game on. That's where you as a landlord that's successful, that's further down the path, this is something that I do for the newbies, right? So if you have less than 10 units, you got less than 15 units, money might still be tight if you're newer in the process. So here's what I make sure happens. I go the extent of the law and I'll spend money to do it because I got stuck earlier on in my career with a couple professional tenants and they got me for thousands of dollars and it really hurt really badly. And so now that I can, because I am as successful as I am and I have as many units as I do and I have as many attorneys as I do, yeah, now it's time. So now if you want to play games, I'll play games with you. I'll play games all day long. I am happy to do it. And I will go to the extent of the law. I will get them in court. I will sue them. And it doesn't happen. It's literally in all the time that we've done this, it's happened. I've got over almost 4,000 tenant years. I think we've done it less than 5 times. And so you really have to want me to make an example of you if you want to go down that path. And again, it's all letter of the law. We're just exercising our right per the agreement that we've both signed. So if you want to pick a fight, then let's do it. We'll pick a fight. I see people start adverse possession on all vacant property in the inner city. Yeah, good luck with that, Bosco. Last chance, Bosco. All-nighter. Here's the video explaining the course. Thank you, sir. Keith Hager, you have to have everything in writing. If you don't, you are on a tightrope where one side is ice and the other is fire. That's very true. That's very true, Keith. Good wisdom. Brett Bisbauer, stop by to hit the like button at work, so I'll catch it later. I appreciate that, Brett. Appreciate you taking the time to do that. It's not about black or white. It's about rich and poor, have and have nots. When you don't have it, you take it. Oh, okay. Well, Hyder, I think we know that we can put Bosco the bonehead into the sin bin because you're not bringing anything of substance or, quite frankly, of interest. You have not because you earn not. You're not willing to do the work, Bosco. So see you later. Let's block him up, Hyder. I once had an 800 credit score demand that I send him the remainder of his security deposit within 10 days. Yep. I waited until day 9 to respond with an additional $50 in damages owed. And Matthew, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Good landlords out there, we're really forgiving. We don't often measure by the letter of the law. We're just like, yeah, you know what, we can do it. Yeah, they were already there for this, or you know what, no, I can take care of it because I've got a dumpster off site that I can dump it in. So very often landlords are pretty gracious. We return a lot of our security deposits, and some stuff we could get nitpicky on. But we don't. We don't, because we're just real people and we want to work with people. So at the end of the day, we want to work with people. But to your point, Matthew, yeah, at that point, okay, I'm just going to measure to the letter of the law, way it goes. And we just had somebody do that. They broke their lease, they left, and we kept their security deposit and we sent them a cleaning bill. They had an absolute hissy fit. They said, we're going to take you to court. And I said, you're going to lose so fast to make your head spin. And just so you know, I'm going to then sue you for court costs because you're bringing a suit again to be punitive. So what happened? They sent us a letter and they paid for the professional cleaning for their place because that's exactly how they got it. And they said, no further action will be taken. Right. Because you were completely in the wrong. They just saved themselves time and money. So at the end of the day, carry yourselves the right way. Do the right thing by your tenants. But there's a reason you have a lease in place. Manage to it. If everybody wants to be super difficult, then just manage to it. At that point, you don't need to make a judgment call and try and work with people. If they've proven they want to be difficult, you just need to prove to them that they really need to work within all of the parameters of that lease. And leases are much more difficult than landlords managing the properties, for sure. R. Rosales. Hello, love your videos. Thank you. R. Rosales, you're very welcome. I appreciate that. I'm honored that you spend time with us to do this. Robert Fairnelly, I can wait 9 days. Awesome. I'm telling you, Robert, there's a ton of stuff in there. And obviously follow-ups and things like that. If you're in the boot camp, I think we'll talk about those things in the boot camp too. Tom Kine. Hey, y'all. Hi, Matt. Glad to be here. Good to have you here, Tom. Good to have you here. Good morning, Matt and everyone. Anna Kay, good morning. And folk fitness Fanazas. I'm sorry. I hope that I got that even moderately right. Good morning. Welcome to the channel. Happy to have you. Bitcoin man. LOL. I know, right? Do you swap light bulbs for the elderly? Absolutely. 100% of the time, without a doubt. Yep. Absolutely. They do get special treatment. They do. We have folks in their 70s and we make time to do things like that. They let us know that there's something trivial like that. We take care of it for them. Yep, we absolutely do. Because that's the right thing to do. And you guys should do it too. You really should. We have to have a respect for the folks that came before us, right? We have to. And we have I've got a couple of tenants in their, I think early 80s. We want to take care of them. We just do. So yeah, when they send something like that, we take care of it quickly for them. Let's see. Robert Fairnelly. Maybe if I did Section 8, Manchester is still giving that $3,000 credit for failure list better option. It might be. Yeah, it might be. Did Mike and Dion get in the water yesterday? Rob, I don't know. Because I was dealing with an issue yesterday afternoon, and true, we send stuff to each other. So I was like, hey, I haven't seen this before. It was something about specific to Section 8. We discussed it. So I just asked them how the event went. They said it went great. And they had done some shorts. You guys have seen those on YouTube. I was making fun of Mike, and I was like, you can tell Mike's in SWAT because he's like running in with the camera in the face. I'm just like, bro, it's not work. Take it easy. Skip the crap out of me. So I don't know. Preach it, brother. Peeps need an eye opener. Yeah, they do. They do. I appreciate that. Yeah, I just have no tolerance for that stuff, guys. Matthew Paris, he sent me the additional $50 check. I still chuckle when I come across his uncashed $50 check on my files. Please don't try bullying me. I'll likely win because I documented it. Yes, Matthew, this is exactly it. Put yourself in a defensible position. There's one case that I didn't, and it bit me in the butt. because I was like, oh man, because I knew them. And I was like, nah, it'll never get to that point. And it did, because I found out that they had no character, that they had no honor, that they had no integrity. So at the end of the day, it cost me a little bit of money. We were 1,000% in the right. But it just is what it is. So I now have a story that I tell everybody, because I tell them, yep, they got me for a few $100. But hey, if that few $100 is worth your reputation, your character, your honor, and your integrity, enjoy it. Enjoy it. It's going to cost you 100 times that at least. Anna K, question. Any experience for Miracle Method to change ugly tub tile colors and bathtub instead of demolishing? Yes, Anna K, it's in the course. It's in the course. It's in the course. And there is, look at the video on my channel. There is a wonderful girl. Her name is Emma. There's two Emmas on my channel, just so you know. One of them is blonde Emma. The other one is brunette Emma. Brunette Emma is one that works for a company refinishing, a refinishing company. Easy for me to say. But watch that video. And yes, I have worked with Miracle Method before. Depending on where you are, I'm, Anna K, you have my contact info, shoot me something and I will happily forward it to her and see if she can make sure that she gets you to the right local Miracle Method for you. I've used them. They've done an amazing job. It does come down to the tech, but they do warranty the work as well. So that's what I would tell you. I absolutely have done that. It's in the course. I actually cover that as a portion of the course of value that you can add to units and where you don't need to get the tub. I'm so glad that you said that, because I've done all the numbers. It's about $6,000, but I actually cover that in depth in the course, but you're heading down the right path. REI Stoners, good morning, sir. Cheers, Matt, here for some landlord wisdom. I'll try and drop some for you. Flash of light, good morning, Matt. Do you ever replace a roof if it's not leaking, cupping, or missing shingles? Let's say, today it's a 25-year-old roof in a 25-year roof versus waiting for a major storm with a leak. That is an excellent, man, it's like you guys are already in my course. So here's what I would tell you. I would not replace a roof just because it hit 25 years. Think about this. That 25-year warranty is often from the manufacturer. What are they going to do? They're going to try and tell you the shortest amount of time that thing is going to last because they don't want to warranty it. And most of those roofs are 25-year warranted roofs. So it is likely that after 25 years, you might start to see some issues. But I can tell you, I just did a roof that was probably 35 years old, and it had an issue where 3 or 4 shingles flew off of it. We replaced those 3 or 4 shingles, and it's been completely fine. It's probably been almost a year. But I don't believe it's worth the expense right now. What I'm doing is those are the types of projects that I'm saving until the economy is in a recession, or it feels like a recession, or the builders aren't as busy. I will get a much better deal doing that roof, I think, in my area in the next 6 to 9 months than I will doing it right now. But that's just my take. Oh, Bosco, you got hidden. Oh, that's too bad. I guess you can take your propaganda to some stupid crash channel. Yeah. So Hyder, good call on being proactive. The key is that if none of those things are occurring, age is not the determinant, because I can tell you there's roofs with a pitch like this, and there's roofs with a pitch like this. This type of a roof, stuff doesn't stay on. And so it quickly falls off of it. It really truly depends on the condition of the roof. What I would have on the ready is I would have made the calls to the different contractors saying, hey, this is what, I want you to come take a look at the roof. They're going to do their very best and say, I want you to, but if you're not getting any leaks, if you're not getting any, weather, if you're not getting any of that stuff, I don't think that you want to, because it's when you do replace it, the clock starts ticking on the new roof. So it's not just that you replaced it early, because often if you've patched it and you've done some replacement shingles and now it's still leaking or it's getting, okay, now you got to do something. But that's not the case. So that's what I would watch out for myself. That's what I think the best thing is for you guys to be able to do, in all honesty. So yeah, I don't just toss it just because it's 25 years. KS, do you give a copy of your documentation to the tenant you keep that you keep on them per incident? No, nope, no need to. It's kind of like your personnel file at work. I don't share with them what I documented, but I document it. Text message, email. Now, if you get to court, usually the emails are really important, but text messages can support that too. In some states, it's inadmissible, but I can tell you in my state, I've given the judge text messages. Said, here's exactly what was printed out. And she can see minute after minute, the breakdown right there. And so knowing that that could possibly be the case. Yeah. Say it, forget it, write it, regret it. There you go. There's a big landlord lesson right there. All right. Alec Lillibridge. Hey, Alec, as Judge Judy says, if it's not in writing, it doesn't exist. This really counts with good landlords and bad tenants and good tenants and bad landlords. That's very true. However, I can tell you, if I like court TV, if I ever had a landlord tenant case, I would not bring it in front of Judge Judy. I would bring it in front of Judge Marilyn Milian, People's Court. The reason why is her family was in construction. She believes that you got to help yourself a little bit. And I have no problem at all sharing all the documentation. I believe that Judge Judy is a little bit skewed on the tenant side. But that being said, yeah, if I had the judge that I wanted to get in front of, it'd be Judge Marilyn Milian. I think that she is more level-headed. I think that because she's in construction, she knows a bullshit story when she hears it. And that's what I want, because I continue to handle myself beyond reproach. All-nighter. Questions are accepted way better than claims. Ask your questions with a genuine curiosity, a curious demeanor, and we will welcome you. Yep. Great question, Ninja, and great answer, Matt. Thank you very much. REI Stoners, I'm squirreling away money for the course, but we feel we are about a year away from saving up 15% for our cost to acquire, staying away from that mortgage insurance premium. So here's what I can tell you. The mortgage insurance premium, I totally get it. I understand that people, quickly want to eliminate that, but here's what I will tell you. The deal's the deal. If you can make the numbers work without PMI or with PMI, then the numbers still work. You can always refi out eventually, not saying that you refi out right away, but it will always, that PMI can disappear. The other thing that I would be looking at it too is on the conventional side, because I think FHA, you have to refi, but on the conventional side, I believe that there's programs where it will disappear once you've hit 20%. And I believe that you can also do that with an appraisal. So I would be looking at those types of conventional loans. I would talk to Matt, the mortgage guy. I've got some other guys too, but you guys are going to see some of them in the course. And I want to kind of get your feel for it because I really like Matt. I think he's honest as the day is long. And I like honorable. I like integrity, if you couldn't tell. Anna Kay, thank you. You're welcome, Anna Kay. You're doing a great job. You're dead on it. You nailed it with that. That is one of the that is actually a top 5 thing that I teach on that portion of the rehab construction course is bathtubs. I can redo an entire bathtub for about $1,700-$1,800. And if you swap that bathtub and have to put up new walls, expose the plumbing, have to change out the mixing valve, have to do all that sort of stuff, and reformulate the floor. And there's a bunch of work there. That typical swap for me, somebody who works with contractors all the time is $5,000 or $6,000. For somebody who doesn't do that all the time, that could be 8 to 10. So it's a massive difference. And the solution that I have for under $2,000, it's that every single time. And it works. It usually works out. I've had one instance where it didn't work out. And that was a tenant. A tenant was a little over 400 pounds. And they slipped in the tub and they cracked it when they landed. So I think it wasn't the solution so much as it was the tub wasn't ready for that 400 pounds, 400 plus, 6'6", big man, very nice guy. Tom Kine, did y'all see the post in ORAT group about the mortgage rate requirements and down payment and credit score changes from Fannie? Yes. Yes, yes, and yes. Yeah. And hey, guys, told you it was coming. Tightening. Fannie and Freddie, tightening. They're reducing risk. They're taking risk out of the system. Telling you, this is what happens. It tightens. And then what happens? It leaves more people on the sidelines, more people having to rent because they tightened, and that easy access to liquidity is no longer there. It's exactly what I said was going to happen a year ago. But I was right. Marina W. People will destroy their reputation for much less these days. No integrity. It's very true. Sad and very true. Robert Fernelli, my goal is to get the unit rented out by March 1st. So boot camp might not help me for this one. I want to work all to be done in 2 weeks. It can. Maybe. Yeah, I think it can. So I know the course will help you out a ton. Because there's all the information in there. And with all that information, you can then call the contractors with that information. REI Soners, no Tom need to look. Yep. Yeah. If you have a 780 and 5% down, it's all good. Yeah. 780. Crazy. What is more interesting is, will they start to put the limits on it? Limits came in, I believe it was in 2009. Was it 09 or 10? When the limits came in 09 or 10, the number used to be what it is today, 10 mortgages in your name. They cut it to 4. So I was already at 5. I couldn't buy number 6. The only way I could get number 6, owner occupied. It's the only way I could get number 6. Or you have to go commercial debt. Ugh, that's expensive. You're talking an extra point and a quarter. So something to consider. But again, told you this was coming, and it's exactly as I expected. RA Centers, our lender said 5% still requires a 0.35 to 6 mortgage insurance premium. I don't know that to be the truth. I don't know that to be the truth. I think that might be the case for them as a vendor. That is not the case, because what they're doing is they're pricing in risk. And so that I don't believe that to be the case. That's good. Yeah, 740 isn't the best anymore. Yep. Changes happening in May. Correct. Yeah. Yep. Mike and Matt, the mortgage guy, going to do a deep dive. Cool. Yeah. Matt, the mortgage guy's awesome at mortgages. Successes of Janelle. Yes. Janelle actually was one who changed it or posted it. Yes. Changes happen in May, but lenders will most likely adjust their pricing as soon as February. That's true. Just because Fannie and Freddie say that they're doing the business that way, that basically gives the mortgage companies permission. But pick up on what Janelle just said. They're changing it now. Why? Because they have the ability to. So you can still find people now that will allow under different standards. That's why I push. You guys gotta be shopping for mortgage people. And honestly, I would be working with Matt, the mortgage guy. He would get you to the right person. And then that's probably going to be your best offer, but shop it. You've got to shop a mortgage. You've got to. If you aren't doing all the work that you need to become elite. You aren't. You have to shop mortgages. Yes, and mortgage insurance changes, Tom. Correct. Robert Fernelli. So what about the rubber flat roofs that last a lot shorter lifespan? Same rules apply. So rubber roofs. So there aren't short lasting rubber roofs. There's 2 types of roofs for flat roofs. There is a rubber roof and there is something called a rolled roof. The rolled roof is usually a bunch of like tar and glue that you can put down. And it gets torched down. Don't like that product. It's less expensive, and I have not seen it last a significant amount of time. I have probably 8, 10, 12 rubber roofs. I've done 2 or 3 of them. When we replaced them, they were 30 plus years old. So I would tell you your best bet. And in fact, Robert, if you have a rubber roof that needs doing, you let me know, because I've got a guy who I know goes to Manchester and does rubber roofs. He's legit. He's honest. He just did one for me, and it's gorgeous. RIS owners, I have an 805 credit score. Awesome. That makes life easier. So you're going to get the best rate. That's good. Matthew Paris, in Florida, you replace it at 5 years to avoid being dropped by your insurance company. Really? That's horrible. Wow. Wow, that's awful. Ooh, yeah, we don't 5 year rubber roofs. Wow, that's nuts. All-nighter, agreed on the roof thing. Yep, I read the comment as cupping and shredding. All good. Yep, it's very circumstantial, really. I'm a roofer, so I replace quickly if showing signs of wear. Absolutely. When there's no cost to it, 100%. There's things that I will do proactively, but the biggest one in the course, the biggest one is water heaters. Literally, if it's an 8-year water heater, that's a time bomb the day after it hits 8 years. Those actuaries that actually figure out with the gauge of metal they put in the bottom of those things, holy cow, they are very accurate. Let's see. HOA Press, good morning. Keep good records such as photos and video of before and after the tenants leave. Absolutely. We actually have a whole section of the course that's dedicated to this. It's called documenting your unit. We teach you all the things to do to document a unit and that's why we never lose in court ever. Now, we've only been 9 times in 20 years, never lost. So still 9-0. I'm not Phil Jackson, but I'm better than Jordan. So not bad. Let's see. I hear PMI and think price managers index. Yeah, I'm so macro. Yeah. Yeah. Private mortgage insurance. I know. It's pretty funny. Because we have a term in the course that we use called PMI, which is property management insourcing. So yeah, it's really funny. HOA Prez, my prediction is that by 2030, that 50% of all housing transactions will be all cash. The national all cash transaction percentage in 2022 was 28%. So I don't think it goes that way, only because I think that it ends up that way when you have asset bubbles, crypto, things like that rode way high and people cashed out. People cashed out on their existing homes to move into the next one, so they paid cash. So I think in a great economy, that number skyrockets. And then in a bad economy, that number typically goes down. Institutional buyers, they buy in cash anyway. And so the skewing is what you're going to see is it's more the institutional buyers that are buying in that cash. And then they'll debt lever it after the fact if they decide that they want to, get a more expansive portfolio. So gently disagree with you. Successes are Janelle. Morning, Matt. Hyder. All good morning. Thanks, Matt, for the tough love talk. The integrity is evident in how you conduct everything and moving forward. I won't delay an eviction process, no matter the sob story. Guys, so you're not doing them a favor. If they are going to get help, the squeaky wheel gets the grease, and they will be the squeakiest wheel when they know something is imminent. I posted the highest number of evictions I have ever posted in the history of my running my business. I posted 4 last week. That's never happened. It's because all of those funds expired from the federal assistance program, and these people have made no effort. None. Will you be staying? Would you like to try and work something out from a rent perspective? Anything, nothing. Okay, you want to answer me? That's fine. We posted those 4. Here's what's crazy. 0 responses. 0 responses. So now we'll go to court and we'll see what happens, because I'm happy to show up for court that day and have that conversation. You can't be afraid of that. And that's, again, one of the things that I teach in the course. I teach you how to not be afraid of court. You got to not be afraid. Be bold. Have done your work. Have your ducks in a row. It will be a learning experience. You maybe did something that you shouldn't have. You maybe did something the wrong way. Okay. But it will be a phenomenal lesson for you moving forward. Here's the other thing to think about too. Don't you think there's a reason why Zuber, Mike, Dion, me, right down the list, why we won't take tenants with an eviction? It's because they've been through the process. So once you do one, what I did in the course was I tried to prepare you for everything that you might see in an eviction process. Here's all the things you're going to see. Here's all the ways that you can manage to that. That's why I know, again, just that one, right? Just that one, that saves you 3 hours with an attorney. less, that's more than the cost of the course, the 3 hours with the attorney. You did something wrong and you didn't have the right duck in a row when you went to court, saved you more than the cost of the course. This is where the value is I'm trying to bring to you guys. All-nighter, hit that Stein, Matt. Nope, this one. So this one's empty now. It's too early. I've got this wonderful sugar-free watermelon handcrafted soda. It's delightful. I'm sad that we're to the end. Let's see. Robert Farinelli. I saw the Titan of rates. Looks like investors getting hit hard while house hacking got a lot less of a blow. Absolutely it did. Yeah. HOA Press, check your location in Silicon Valley. All cash is more likely than not. You would be amazed at the number of people that are out there that can write checks for. Oh yeah, totally agree. Yeah, but here's the thing, HOA Press, that's like such a small market. Listen, California would do a whole lot better if they realized that the rest of the country wasn't as dumb and jacked up as they are. They'd be a lot better off. It's crazy town out there. LA still has the eviction moratorium in place. Those people are idiots. Yeah, I said it. They're idiots. Landlords can still make money in those markets. I would never want to do business there. The day I got a house in any of those markets, I would sell it the next day and I would invest it in a smart market. There's too much red tape. There's too much cost there. There's a higher barrier of entry, which is good for those that want to go down that path. Not interested. Not interested. They come up with too much stuff on the spot that they want to take care of. Let's see. Oh, my chat. That was awful. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, man. You guys loaded me up with questions. I love it. Let's see. We just had an apartment complex that was 400 million and there is no mortgage on it. That's awesome. Well, good for you. The wife has a 705 score, so we have some work to do. Yeah, understood. Fair enough. But you can, so that's where you also can talk to your lender too and talk to them about her not being on the mortgage, but her being on the deed. That's possible as well. If you can't afford to buy a house where you are currently living, consider moving to a cheaper place. Yep, where houses are cheaper. Yep, we talk about that often. Yep, for sure. I like to look at every asset class in a market before I decide to move on from it. Because what you'll find is there are ebbs and flows. Rarely in a market does all of the assets in that market are not performing. Very rare. That's pretty rare. HOA Prez, the difference between competent and incompetent mortgage broker can cost you thousands of dollars, if not the entire loan. That's very true. Yeah, that's why I met the mortgage guy's fantastic. Jacob, great info. Thanks. Jacob, thanks for attending. I appreciate that. You're very welcome. KS, how do you shop a mortgage? If you respond to an online and 100 brokers call you. Nope. So I wouldn't do it that way. I don't like shopping. I don't like doing mortgages that way. What you want to do is you want to look for local mortgage companies that really understand the market. You also want to look for small local banks, not credit unions. They typically have a whole lot more rules. But what you do is you give them a scenario. You actually say, here's a copy of my credit score, here's my debt to income, but you need to make those calls. So for me, I have my network. I have 3 or 4 people that I reach out to when I'm looking at a property. And believe it or not, there are some banks that 1 month aren't interested in that loan. And 2 months later, they are interested in that loan. It can be that they cleared their books of a different asset where they say, hey, we can bump this up a little bit. That actually does happen. There's something at smaller banks called market saturation. And so what they don't want to do is like what we talk about, Dion and I talk about, and Millennial Mike talking about is diversification of portfolio, right? Not having it all in one given area. That's something that's really important because banks are the same way. So they will get to, and they'll say, let's say they have a pie of $300 million. And they say, we never want more than 75 million to be in this particular town or in this particular 2-town area. They might not want that loan in the beginning, so they overprice it. They might then 2 months later say, you know what? We actually had a few major assets in that area sell. We actually have some room to grow in that area. Yeah, we'll take that loan now. And surprisingly, they will price it better. So how you shop for a mortgage is pick up the phone, make a phone call, and understand going into deals who might be who might be that person you can have a conversation with and say, yeah, we're in the process right now of shopping for a mortgage broker. This is what we're looking at, and what would you approve us for? What's the program that you have that's available to that right now? And then when you find the right thing, you go back and you start with them. If they start to prove that it's not good enough, that's why you shop the mortgage. Shop your mortgages, guys. You got to shop your mortgages. All-nighter. Torch down creates a fully sealed membrane, but still gets eaten by UV. Yeah, that's exactly right. And, the other thing too is that when they do that torch down, you can still, people are imperfect. They might miss a small spot in the seam. If they miss, oh my goodness, that can be a total and complete nightmare. Hope Prez, before buying a fixer upper, particularly your first one, to make sure you have a good cost, it might be better just to do a tear down. Don't do a tear down. I don't like tear downs at all. I don't know about you guys in your states, but me and mine, if it's an older home and I rehab it, even if I spend $200,000 rehabbing it, it will not be set in the same tax bracket as if I tear it down and start from scratch. So I've literally had an inspector say, you need to tear this down. Nope. Can you show me structurally where it's unsound? Well, no, but it's just an older house. Yeah, I know what it is. I know what I'm buying. I bought the place for $40,000 and I redid it. I spent $75,000. I was into it for $115,000 and I sold it for $200,000 a year later because I rented it out for a year first. So if I had torn the thing down, I would have gotten $240,000 when I sold, but it would have cost me $150,000 to build it. And worse yet, the taxes wouldn't have been $6,000. The taxes would have been $11,000. Limit my buyer pool a little bit. Yeah, it would have. So I don't agree hardly ever with teardown because it completely resets the tax clock. You have to look at your state and local laws. Again, that's something that is, especially in California, where you have, I think it's Title 13, where it's based on the price that you bought it for. I wouldn't be tearing anything down doing new construction because then you're starting from scratch. I think that rule goes away and now you get reassessed at the new rate, which makes it not the best idea and rarely a good investment at that point. KS at HOA praise. If you're not an experienced investor, then there is a lot of money to made in rehabbing an entire neighborhood. Yeah, for sure. Robert Farinelli, roof is in Nashua 3 to 5 years out, but thanks for letting me know. Yeah, whenever you're ready. Yep, you just say the word, let me know. He will be in the course. His name is Rich. He will be in the course. He will be doing a session with us. We will likely probably do a session in the field as well, because there's some cool sessions that we're going to do in the field. We're just trying to figure that out with the camera crew. Do you own any property with an HOA? REI Centers? Nope. No, thank you. Hard pass. All-nighter hider. Agreed. Water heaters are dialed in on their timeline of failure. Yeah, that typed. I just replaced a water heater that was 12 years old, 12 years past its expiration date. See, but that was before, right? If you bought any of these things in the last 10 years, those are the ones that are like ticking time bombs after they expire. That's what I've seen anyway. HOA Prez, have your tenants in the video on the day they take over the apartment. You can also accomplish that with a, just taking a newspaper and taking snapshots of the newspaper, as you walk through, and then just showing that continuity, hey, here's the newspaper and blah, blah, blah. That's always worked out fine. That water heater fell apart when I touched it. Yeah, dude, that thing. Oh my goodness. I'm sure it did. Matthew Paris, do 20% down conventional, and a VA count towards your 4 mortgages or just Fannie Freddie back mortgage? I believe just Fannie. Fannie Freddie back mortgages, but conventional mortgages are often backed by Fannie Freddie. Portfolio loans are not backed by Fannie Freddie. Yeah. Is there a super chat that I missed, Hyder? There it is. Phil Nealon. There he is. Hey, Phil. Good morning. Thanks for the Sunday show. You're my pleasure, Phil. I just scroll down to see that super chat. Let's see. Scott C. Just replace anode rods regularly and water heaters will last 20, 30 years. Yes, but that can be something if you want to do that yourself. Not my bag. That's something that that's a path I don't want to go down. But yeah, it's possible. HOA Press. The reason is that I think housing prices will be all cash is that parents are buying the kids' houses. All of the next generation will have a paid off house before I die. I don't think so. I mean, but it's possible. I just don't think probable. I wouldn't bet that way. KS, how often do you change out the anno rods? That's a good question. That does help out the zinc, like zinc on a boat. Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those things you can do, but yeah, for me, it's still out of warranty at that point. It's still out of warranty. And so for me, instead of going, because you can spend a couple $100 changing out those anode rods, and swapping out the system might be $1,000. So John Irwin, we sold our primary residence last September. The water heater was original to the house, built in 03, 19 years, and will water hard well water. Yep. Yeah. So we have a water system here. And we actually don't have a hot water tank. Yep. Let's see. HRS president. Ironically, the people that need help often refuse to take it. They go out and get a job. The people that cry out for help are usually the ones that are too lazy. Often. Yes, that's true. Yeah, anno rods can last 4 to 5 years. Yep, absolutely. HOA Pres, able to stop evictions, able to solve your financial problems. It's a government handout. It's your parents. No, it's called a job. Yep, a job solving your financial and personal problems. It's true. KS, I'm really not sure. I think, 3 to 5 years. Yeah, typically. No, I was facetious about the 5 years, kind of. Yep. But here in Florida, a 30-year architectural shingle gets you about 14 years before your insurance company will drop you. So better get prices year 12-ish. Now, is that even if it's showing nowhere? I'm interested to know, Matthew Paris. And I wonder how they know it's 15 years old. I wonder how they know. HOA Prez. Amazing that parts of the Midwest are getting like Silicon Valley. Yeah, parts of Illinois, being the rich suburbs of Chicago, are getting just as bad. The money is going to be made in poorer areas. Yeah, I think I don't want to own Class D, and factually speaking, a lot of Chicago's Class D. But Class B and C all day long. The C guys move to B, the Bs move down to Cs if they need to conserve money or times get tough. No one moves to Ds. Once you're out of Ds, you're in Cs at least forever. A's will sometimes go down to B's, but that's where you're going to see your biggest pressure. People don't need that brand new shiny thing. It's the Las Vegas rule. If it's brand new, I can charge a lot more for it. I love staying at the Aria. The Aria is a beautiful hotel. That's where I stay very often when I go out there. Here's what I can tell you. I think it was the Park MGM. Those room rates were more expensive than Aria. They aren't nicer. It can't be nicer than Aria. So it's more expensive because it's brand new. Robert Fairley, my bad. 8 years old. I expect to replace it in 3 to 5 years. Property card says rolled roof cover. Yeah, rolled roof. Yep. Yeah, when you go to have it replaced, Robert, have somebody that knows rubber roofs look at the roof. Have somebody that knows rubber roofs look at the roof. That's the key. We had one eviction case with the judge telling the defendant that I did your prior 3 evictions in the last year. Check out your prospective tenants before you rent. Yep. Yeah, that's very true. But when you have a ton of units, like, the last thing you want to do is correct the judge and say, well, Your Honor, I have 500 units. So yeah, 3 evictions. Don't backtalk the judge. One judge in one of the cases that we were in said something earth-shatteringly stupid, and I bit a hole in my tongue, not saying something back. That's just wisdom and respect. Like, they didn't know what they were talking about, that one thing. Like, let it roll. RA owners, I took Millennial Mike's advice and started a channel to show what we are going through to purchase our first property. I like it. I appreciate you guys pushing your followers to get ahead and do better. Hey, you guys can do it. Do it better. Do better. But you'll find that as you do it, you'll get better. That's where I'm so pumped about my course. I just can't wait to see a bunch of elite landlords running around the country. HOA Prez, we have a drug problem which causes homelessness. Until you solve the drug problem, you won't solve the homeless problem. Probably over 50% of the eviction lawsuits involve drug abuse. Yeah, we don't see that in our area. I'm not saying there's not a drug problem nationally, but yeah, we don't see that in our area. That is one thing that you will all have very heavy in D areas. But as you get into B areas, it's not that they're immune, but it's different. It's just, it's factually different. They usually at that point, it doesn't get really horrible. It's a people problem, not a drug problem. I handle mine just fine. It's true. It's true. Yeah. Yep. HOA Prez, reason for moving. I had to find another place as I am getting evicted from your current place. This actually was written on a rental application. Yeah. Yep. Sorry, you're denied. Matthew Paris, or how do I know if any of my 4 current mortgages will disqualify me from obtaining an additional mortgage? That's a great question. That's the right question to ask. So I would reach out to Matt, the mortgage guy, because he's being told by Fannie and Freddie, they're giving guidance on that. You can try and read it and try and find it, but these larger mortgage companies, they know what the rules are. They're monitoring those because they know that that's going to absolutely crush business. It's going to crush business when they take away getting to 10 and having to go commercial. It moves the business. A, it drops it, but B, it moves it into a different category because you're then looking at commercial debt, which is typically 3, 5, 7 or 10-year amortization, or 3, 5, 7 or 10-year debt that's amortized over 25, not 30. All-nighter hider here in South Dakota or San Diego, South Dakota. San Diego. I know you're in San Diego. Contractors leave just one original wall, but demo everything else and still consider it a remodel. Not sure of tax implications. So it definitely depends on the town. But yeah, that's so, often the reason that they do that is not from a tax perspective. Often the reason that they do that is for the, not needing a variance, not needing, it doesn't, so I've seen it both ways. I know on my side of things, it doesn't help with taxes. It doesn't help with taxes because then you are, I think in our state, if the project is more than 50% of the acquisition price of the property, I think is how they get you with that one in my state. Don't try and change bad tenants' behavior. You aren't a social worker, you run a business. Let the social workers deal with the bad tenants' behavior. Yeah, I wish there were more of them available. Let's see. Financial firefighting, morning from Hawaii. Good morning, sir. Alec Lillibridge. Also, if you want to fix up, you are usually grandfathered with zoning. Yes. Yep. That's exactly right. Yeah. Because the big thing is like, as an example, stairs. In the Northeast, stairs are really difficult because I think it's 7¼ inches is what the normal riser is supposed to be. And the tread, I believe, is supposed to be either 10 or 12 inches. Very often here in the Northeast, we are looking at 7 to 9 inch risers. That's the space where it actually rises from one stair tread to another. So it's this part of the stair, and this is the tread part of the stair. And so we'll also see treads that are only 8 inches. If you knock that house down, you have to do those stairs to code, which means that you can completely be doing something different because the only way that it worked before was when it was shorter throws. Yep. True story. Ticking time bomb, even if you replace the anode rod every 2 years. Every 2 years, no, but, you know, the bottom of the tank is the issue. The bottom of the tank is the issue. Keith Hager, water heater decay with the pH of the water and temperature of the thermostat. Yep, 120 is what I have set my thermostats to. Yep, 120 is good. HOA Prez, if you have hard water, yep, then you might want to soften the water. It might keep down on your plumbing costs in the future. It's true. I mean, a lot of those water softeners, they can be $1,000 to $2,000 to install. Again, the idea is that all of that costs money, right? So for me, I'd just rather do with a new water heater. Especially if it's a brand that's easily swapped, where it's literally just, if it's electric, it's the connecting of the electric and to, the in pipe and the out pipe. And the other thing too is you can actually have it delivered by Home Depot for free usually, or one of the big box stores. You can actually have it delivered for free. You can have a dolly. You can usually rent a dolly if you don't have one, but you can rent it. You can get it in place where literally all the plumber has to do is show up, cut, and reattach. It's a 30-minute job. And so that's if you aid in the process. Robert Fairley, I'm asking because I was thinking about buying a hybrid water heater with all the rebates. Will also help with keeping basement not a sauna in the summertime. Interesting. Yeah, I had one of those hybrids. What do they call those things? Aside from hybrid, they have another special name for them. I hated it. It ran all the time and it cost me a fortune. Anal rods are usually not very easy to get to because of the inset of the bolts heads. Yep, more difficult to remove than a spark plug. True story. Oscar, would you replace a regular water heater with a tankless water heater? So you have to be careful with what brand. The only brand that I use for tankless, not Bosch, not Rinnai, not any of those. The only brand I will use is IBC. Proven brand for me. We have deployed over 30 of them to our buildings in the last, we're just about to hit 7 years. And we've never, ever not ever had to replace one. And we've only had to replace parts on one. It's that good of a product. Yep. Oscar, in my experience, I've had needed to upgrade the gas line to 3/4. Yep. So not plug and play. That can be the case. Yes. HOA Prez. No, I'm talking about a tenant having 3 evictions. Oh, from different places. Sure. Judges have unbelievable power and usually deserve respect. That's very true. Yep. I think that you can ask a judge a question. Don't be snarky. But I've asked judges questions. Just said, Your Honor, I don't understand. That's it. Matt, ask that judge for clarification on their stupid statement. That way you're in the clear. Exactly. See, exactly. We're on the same page. Yep. Financial firefighter, restoners, love your channel. Keep it up. That's awesome. Good job, guys. Let's support each other. HOA Prez, it's getting more and more difficult to find competent tradesmen, and it's not going to get better. It is going to get better. It is absolutely going to get better because construction companies are going to feel the pinch of not building. So it's cyclical. Of course it is. In 08, it was nearly, in 06 and 07, it was nearly impossible to find them. And guess what? In 09, I was getting unbelievable skilled trades folks for 40% less because they were grateful for the work. So that was my experience. Judges only have the power when the people give it to them. They actually rely on what we say and do. Most don't know what to say and do. That's very true. You can challenge, but be respectful. Yes, nowhere needed. They get the age of the roof upon application. Okay. They get the age of the roof upon application and verify it through county permits. Only way around new roof is a licensed inspector to certify it for an additional 4 years. Wow, what a racket. That's crazy. What if there's no permit on the roof? Because there's a lot of states where they don't permit. They only permit the roof if it's if sheeting needed to be replaced. Yep. Our state was like that for a long time. It was called the technical term was called replacing in kind. Technical term, totally legal. You could replace in kind. So if we were ripping off shingles and all of the sheeting underneath was good and in good shape, you could replace in kind and you didn't have to pull a permit. Oh my goodness. Millennial Mike, you guys thought I'd miss this. Heck no. Like the video. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate you, pal. Man, my chat moved. That was a big move. But even then your rates will jump. Man, that is a racket. That is a racket. KS, I found the judge does not read the evidence submitted and renders a decision not based on facts. Yeah, sadly, I mean, they're people. They're people. Yeah. Yep. They're people. I've seen them render things that were complete head scratchers. But all you can do is your best. HOA Prez, if you're living in a rent controlled jurisdiction and need to get out of a rental business, then check your local government. As Silicon Valley, the government is buying out apartment buildings. Yeah, that sounds like very California. Catchatona 13. Hey, thanks for joining the channel. Appreciate you coming in. Betting Tenants, 700 credit score on both. Yep, not getting any much higher than that. That's okay. T1, married couple makes 3x, 350K student loans, professionals versus make way less than rent, but housing voucher. Ooh. I think I know, but I want to get your opinion. Oh, this is Michelle Meyer. Hi, Michelle Meyer. Golly, that's a Solomon moment right there, Michelle. Here's what I can tell you I've done. I have done both. So if they were, I think right now, based on my situation, I take the Section 8 tenant. Here's why. I have a smaller portion of my portfolio that's Section 8. I want more. Guaranteed my money right now is those folks have good jobs, but will they still have good jobs or great jobs? And the likelihood that they will move is greater than that of a Section 8 tenant. I see Section 8 units getting pulled out of that market because there's a lot of funds that went around and bought a bunch of properties. Now they're fixing them up and they're getting market rents. So I want diversification of my portfolio. And so if the Section 8 tenant gets you more diversified, I like that better. But that's my opinion based on my experience. I don't know your portfolio, so I couldn't really say, but if it were me, I'm trying to get more Section 8 tenants to become more diversified. If I'm playing it out in my head with units disappearing in my market for Section 8, they're not adding any. They're very difficult to get. Most funds that bought stuff are pulling them out of the program. Likely, if the numbers are square, I'd probably take the Section 8 tenant. Let's see. Oh, was there a super chat? Super chat. Oh, that's cool. It blinks. That's cool. One rental at a time, super fan. Holy Toledo. $10. Hey, brother. Thanks to you, Mike, Dion, I got my one property, a fourplex. All right. All right. A fourplex with a 15 cap. 15 cap. We don't talk in cap numbers here. But congratulations. Do you have any resources on tax write-off loopholes that can be utilized and how I turn this fourplex into another property? Oh my goodness. Of course I do. There's so many ways to do it. The big thing is that you want to be there year one. And then after that, after you've done year one, then you want to be looking at getting out and house hacking into the next one. Oh, did you house hack this one? I don't know if you, no. Tell me if you house hacked this one. Tell me if you house hacked that one. Yeah, I'm interested to know. You're welcome, Michelle. My pleasure. Yeah, congratulations for you guys. That's awesome. Congrats on getting your new property. I know. Good job. Good job. So happy that we were able to help. So happy. That's awesome. BF Lumberjack, how many years have you been a landlord? 22. 22. How many years you been a landlord? I think my guess is you've been a landlord for, I'm going to guess 40 years. No, I'm going to guess between 30 and 40 years. That's what I'm going to guess. Just subscribe. Awesome. REI 110 watching. Nice, man. Yeah. Good to have folks here. BF, good morning. Full transparency. I had an IBC arrive with a flow sensor DOA, but was resolved quickly. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. but how fast was it resolved, right? BF, happy Sunday, Lumberjack. All your shows, great. Love all your shows, great content. Thanks, BF. I appreciate that. We're gonna be neighbors someday, BF. We're gonna be well, actually not neighbors. I will be Summerlin adjacent. Judge wouldn't allow more questions. KS, teaching on court procedure would be good, please. I can only teach on my experience. But I actually have 3 attorneys that are going to be in my course. 3. Yep. One of them is a trust and closing company attorney. Another one is a zoning and expansion and approvals and building attorney. And then another one of them is a tenant attorney. 3. Yep. I have 9 attorneys. It happened just because I found people really good at one thing. And so now I use them for those one things that they're really good at. They're amazing. Yeah. Super amazing. All right. Just describe. And after 17 years, forget about it. You're on lender placed policy. Interesting. Wow. That's amazing. Keith Hager, smash the like button, 110 watching. Let's go, guys and girls. Yeah, 69 out of 119 watching. Come on, my dudes. Come on. Legacy Op. Have you heard any good with the water conditioning system that filters and removes hard water scale? They're $2K from Home Depot versus installed water softener system at $6K. I've not heard about those. Nope, I haven't heard. I haven't done any of that stuff. In the places that we had where the water was hard enough, we just would up and put a system. That's what we ended up doing. A permit. I don't need no stinking permit. Actually, you do. Yeah. Check your local laws. I can tell you because in mine, it was called replacing in kind. We didn't need to. There was one town that I did something in where they said I didn't need to replace the cabinet. I didn't need to pull a permit to redo the kitchen. I was like, really? They're like, are you touching the electrical? I was like, no. Like, what are you doing? I said, I'm ripping out all the cabinets. They're like, nope, you're good. You're replacing in kind. I was like, I'll be back. For some reason, did a lot of projects in that town for a while. That building inspector was awesome. Laura Samaniego at Parish and Matt, not saying South Florida people are more honest. I was actually surprised. I just got my insurance renewal, $900 increase, new renewal, $56.77. Ouch, man, that is crazy. Matthew Paris, I used to be afraid of anode rods until I found out which tools to use. Yep, correct. Deep socket or extension. Oh, just moved. Small taps until it breaks. Free, done. Nice. Good for you. Guys, if you can learn to do little things like that, you can look at it at the end of the year. There was one year where I saved, actually it was Ashley and I saved because she would do some of those restarts on heating systems and things like that. We saved something like $18,000, 18 grand just by doing little things here and there. Like, just like, oh yeah, hey, you know, I ran out of fuel and I need to get restarted, or little things like that. And it all added up when it was like, yeah, if we had paid to have that be done, it would have cost us an extra, you know, it would have been a $250 service call because it was on the weekend. Yeah. Hardest part is digging out insulation on the anode rod. Yeah, for sure. I'm looking to buy in Gary, Indiana, but also starting relationships in San Diego. Yeah, that's awesome. HOA Prez, don't expect tenants with 800 credit scores and years of financial reserves. Sure, they exist, but in most cases, they own a house, not in the rental market. Completely agree. BF, Laura, insurance in Florida is crazy. You're lucky to even get a policy. That's what I'm hearing. HOA Prez, some Section 8 jurisdictions will reimburse you for eviction costs and expense to rehab the unit. Yeah, they also will throw that tenant out of the program. That's the biggest risk. If you get evicted while you're with Section 8 for cause, you lose your voucher. You can't get back in that system in that state. In CA, you can't deny one based on income. So you are considering Section 8 tenants where you are whether you are liking or not. So not in most states. That's a stupid California rule. Yeah, not in most states. In most states, you absolutely can take credit and you can take income into account in most states. Man, California sucks. Sorry for those living in California. That's just a bunch of ridiculousness. So now they're going to tell me who I'm allowed to rent my apartment to? Not likely. No, in Florida, all those laws changed after Hurricane Charlie. Here, now you have to have licensed roofer or homeowner permit. Yep. You must live there 1 year before you can rent or sell. Okay. Very interesting. Phil Nealon, way to go, super fan. Agreed. Congrats, OFS. Thank you. Yep. Michelle, you're welcome. BF, Section 8 properties don't get the same appreciation as regular rental properties. Location. Not true. Not true. That's not true. Nope. A duplex makes no different who I have in it. Just doesn't. There are good Section 8 tenants. I've learned that lesson in the last 2 years. There are plenty of good ones. We've had a couple bad ones, but we've had plenty of good ones. So it's just PF. You're killing me, man. Wandering Doc. If you were talking about cap rates on single family homes, you're sad to say lost and you bought into the fake marketing. Nope. So it's a 4-unit. It's 4-unit. So it is a multifamily. House hacked. Yes. Dig it, man. Dig it. That is awesome. So what I would be looking at is over the course of the next year, stabilize that thing, learn the house, understand what the quirks are, get the quirks addressed. When you get the quirks addressed, you're then putting yourself in a better position to buy the next hack. That's number 4. That's your 4-plex. Now you can go to either to another 4 or down to a 3, but don't lose those chances at getting owner-occ debt. Congratulations, man. So excited for you. REI Stoners, congrats. Or at SF. Yes, that's great. Wandering Doc. Worse still, you think cap rates are a return metric when they are a valuation metric for large commercial real estate? Yes, Wandering Doc. He's house hacking. It's fine. We'll look at yield and return. The return on capital. Laura Samaniego, BF. I consider myself lucky. I was so worried. That is my personal residence, praying for the rental renewal. Yeah. Tom Kine, REI Stoners. I do not have a channel, but learning Chat GPT to figure out how. Very cool. All nighter, you are right. And I am first language is Spanish. Shoot. Yes, it is Mateo. Yes. BF, I'm a landlord for only 25 years, almost half my life. Nice. So BF, you're about my age. I'm 45. And you said almost half your life. So yeah, you're within 10 years of me. Wandering Doc, I'm on a call this weekend and sleep deprived, but my last weekend call, ever so excited there. Nice. Let us know when you get that channel, Tom. Absolutely. HOA Prez, make sure your attorney is specialized in the area of need. Absolutely. Don't use a family trust attorney to do evictions. Do not. This is the same thing when I talk to you guys about don't use your agent that's your friend of the family when you're trying to buy a rental property. Unless they have a rental portfolio that they can talk to you about, and that's where you learned it. If they haven't, nope, get somebody specialized. Lumberjack, before becoming a landlord, I was a developer for over 30 years. Very cool. It's a different, it's definitely a very different slant on things for sure. Yeah. You will come up with, you're coming from a different place. Get it. Totally. BF must be the Highlander. Yeah. Congrats, or at Superfan. Yeah, Millennium Mike. Yeah, exactly. I love that. That's so awesome. That's such great news. Phil Nealon, my biggest money saver this year, gave one of my older retired tenants an 18-pack and taught him how to relight the pilot light. He was jazzed. How's that for return? Dividend Dave. Hello. We can start now. Dave, let me cover everything. I was awesome. The audience was even better. They asked some amazing questions. I answered them. It's been a good day. Be kind of rewind. I just did. You're welcome. Did you leave Dave? Yeah. Don't use WD-40 on anno rods unless you want WD-40 on your water heater. True story. All-nighter hider. LOL. Thanks, Dave. Great throwback to the VHS day. Yeah, be kind of rewind. That's right. Dividend Dave just got here. Hider shopping with the fam. Nice. Drive by a duplex of interest. Nice. 2/3 of the neighborhoods blocked, boarded up. Ooh, ish. Lumberjack. I don't own any Section 8. Please explain why I should buy some. So I don't. Okay, sure. Yeah, let's do that. What are your thoughts on home warranties? No. BF. Are you vetting me? I would not buy a home warranty. No. No, never. Let's see. 57. Okay, yeah. 57 is young. Yeah, it is. Yeah, so I was 2 years off. I said you were within 10 years of me. 57, good deal. I like the fire, BF. I don't own any Section 8. Please explain why I should buy some. So I bought a property that I loved. It was a great property. It was vastly undervalued. And the reason it was vastly undervalued was because the landlord was too lazy to literally just send the letter in. If you follow Instagram at all, BF, if sorry, I lost my train of thought. I'm gonna look at the picture again. Sorry. Buy some. Yeah. So I bought the property vastly undervalued. Love the property, was so undervalued, but it had a Section 8 tenant, but the landlord was too lazy to literally just fill out the form every year to raise it to the new FMR rate, which is fair market rents. Fair market rents is what the HUD produces every single year. There's a video on my channel. It's called FMR. But check it out. And that will explain how easy it is to get on that bandwagon. What I will tell you is, yes, you have Instagram. Well, then you better follow me. I'm on Lumberjack Landlord. So follow that, because what you'll see is I raised on 7 units, just 7 units. I make $2,400 a month more now just because it's January. All it took was sending a letter into Section 8, notifying the tenant, and Section 8 housing is now going to pay me $2,400 more a month because the FMR, fair market rent, went up. Oh, good. So then you saw it. Silly man. Nokodon just turned 59 last week. So far, like 58 better. A lot more aches and pains. Yeah, don't know if it's a body or a tenant issue. Yeah, ain't that the truth? We do not buy Section 8 properties. We own rentals and we qualify some for Section 8. Dion, thank you for the super chat. And Dion's exactly right. I don't go out there searching and trying to buy Section 8 properties. I buy properties. Sometimes they have a Section 8 tenant, and then I know how to manage that program. I'm new to the program, BF, in just the last 2 years. So for almost 20 years, I didn't have any Section 8 properties. What you will find is that there are good housing authorities and there are bad housing authorities, and they're usually done per town. So you'll find some that are good, that are responsive and respectful and work with you, and they're good to work with. You'll find some that suck. Dion has one that's awful and he has one that's great. I've got one that's awful and I've got 2 that are one that's pretty good and then one that's great. How much does the government pay and how much does the tenant pay in Section 8? So that varies. So one of the things that you don't want to do is think that Section 8 is only, it's not low income, it's fixed income. That's what Dion says. And I think he couldn't be more right. I've got some older folks that it's fixed income and they're great. They're great tenants. I'm so excited to have them. They're likely going to be in my unit for 10, 15, 20 years. And all I'm going to do every year in that particular case, because they have limited income, Section 8 pays all of their rent. In other cases where people have jobs and they just need assistance because they maybe have, a couple of kids. I've got a couple where Section 8 pays half. I've got another one where Section 8 pays about 40%. So it really ranges. Yeah, it really ranges. Sorry, I didn't want to mess any of this stuff up here. I want to make sure to get back to you guys. Let's see. Phil Neon, hi Matt. Worst ice damming anyone has seen up here in 30 years in my area. Wow. 10 inches on one unit. Holy cow. Any suggestions besides pickaxe and heat wire or weed burner? Oh, I don't have any other suggestions. Oh, you know what you can do? Um, you can only look and do your investigation. There's one product out there, one product out there that you can put on that ice dam to help break it up. But there's 1,000 products out there that will ruin your roof and shingles. There's one product out there. I don't remember the name of it, but you can actually get it up there and it will actually, it'll actually melt the ice. And then you can start off when you then blow in the insulation, it then will start you off from a better place. And you will likely won't get that again. Yep. Yeah. So BF, no home warranties. Why is Gary, Indiana becoming so popular for buying rentals lately? Because you can buy a house for $50,000 and rent it out for 1,100. It's math. It's just math. You can buy a $50,000, $60,000 single family home. You can put a little bit of money into it. You can rent it out for $1,000. So it's really just a return. It's a return on capital play. Yeah, proximity to Chicago, but yeah, watch Millennial Mike. He covers all that stuff. He's done a great job starting his portfolio, building his portfolio there. And yeah, he'll be in 10 years from now that he'll be in really good shape. Is Sean one of the lawyers in the course? He asked. He's not one of the three that I've gotten to say yes. I've gotten 3 to say yes, but he is a rock. I mean, you tell me, Robert, is he a rock star? He's a rock star. Let's see. Catchatona 13. BF, this would be my first time getting people applying with Section 8. This house is in a nice overpriced area next to Microsoft main campus. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things to consider, right? Microsoft, they have a massive, massive footprint up there, but 10,000 people in that area likely are going to be losing their jobs. And so what does that mean? But diversification, Section 8 diversification and regularity. Yep. And they pay their rent checks. Yes. Physical checks with cinnamon rolls and chit chat. So interesting, Phil Nealon, because that's a great experience. I can tell you that down here, they actually have it where it's automated. And so it just shows up in my account the first every month, and they bundle it with all the payments. It's awesome. And so literally the very first of the month, while I have tenants that pay early and I have tenants that pay on the first, their entire chunk is always coming in right on the first, which makes it really nice. Is that from the 13th Warrior? Is that from the 13th Warrior REI Stoners? Yeah. You will arrive at the gates of Valhalla, shiny and chrome. Right? Yeah. I think that's 13th Warrior. I think. I'm not positive. Corby Carter. Hey, how had I not hit the like button? Now done. Thank you, Corby. Yeah. What's going on, guys? No like button? I mean, I'm throwing some fire here this morning. How much rent does the government pay and how much does the tenant pay in Section 8? So it varies pending their income. Yes, Phil Nealon, depends on the tenant. Yep. In the area my rental is 4-bed, they pay up to $3,300. Yeah. So I just rented a 4-bed to Section 8 in my area that paid $29.37. It's interesting because that 4-bedroom metric is the closest to what market is. It's because it's so rare to find. Yeah. 4 bedrooms are tough to find. In my area specifically. Yeah. Dion in the house. Let's see. What else did I miss? Nope. I got that. And I'm not turning anyone down. Yep. Just trying to make the best decision since this is an overpriced area. Yeah. And again, just look at your state laws. There's some states that talk about Section 8 being a protected class. Well, that's going to make things more difficult. There's a lot of states that don't view Section 8 as a protected class, and that you can deny somebody based on criteria, income and credit score and things like that. So just know your local laws. Let's see. Phil Nealon, have an initial walkthrough tomorrow with a housing authority for my newest tenant. Any tips? Guy seems really nice over the phone. Yeah. So here's the tip. Here's what I would tell you. Hey, based on all your experience, what do you think I can do what do you think I can do better? You don't have to take his advice, but I think you said he. There, you don't have to take. Oh no, guy seems really nice. Yeah, you don't have to take his advice, but ask. That's one of the ways. It's one of the things I teach in my class. Interested is interesting. Remember that. Interested is interesting. Yeah. Yep. Ask him. Hey, based on what you saw, what do you think I could do better? Or what have you seen the best landlords in your program? What have you seen the best landlords in your program do? What makes them the best? Those are 2 or 3 questions I would ask, because he's going to instantly put a check mark next to your name and say, hey, this guy's a good egg. He cares even enough to ask. Because there are plenty that are just like, are you done yet? Legacy up, doing inspections, repairs on 2 of my rentals. I was shocked and disappointed in the way that one of the houses was being treated inside, like they didn't care. Yep. When do I speak up without upsetting them? Hey, listen, legacy up. Look at look at what I named this one. Warning, tenants, prepare to be offended. Prepare to be offended. So what I would do is, what we would usually do is we would just call them. Just send them a quick text and say, hey, when would be a good time to chat? And then I would have the conversation with them. Yep. I would say, when would be a good time to chat? Hey, just wanted to touch base with you. And then when you have the conversation, just say, hey, was in there and doing some repairs, and whatever the issue is, just say, we want, when it does come time for you guys to leave, we want to give you as much of your deposit back as possible. We need you to keep the place up better. We do, and so, I want to give you a couple of weeks, but I want to do a reinspection. I need to see the place, kept better. But ask if there's something going on, hey, is everything okay? And then I feel like, oh yeah, sure. Oh yeah, everything's fine. Okay. Then you have that conversation. If they're like, yeah, somebody passed away or just lost a job or whatever, right? Then you say, yeah, I'm really, really sorry about that. Really sorry about that. Hey, but the reason I'm calling, when I was in there doing some repairs, I get it. I get that you've got other bigger priorities right now, and places a little bit, kind of not kept. Recognizing that you're going through it right now. If you wouldn't mind, if you could, want to make sure that, we really need to make sure we're taking care of it. So if you wouldn't mind, if you could please, keep it up a little bit better, cite things specifically. And then just say, I really appreciate it. That's how I would do it. Let me know your thoughts. Let's see. Oh man, just buried. Oh, you guys are good. Okay. Phil Nealand, 27% increase in that case, in case that guy is that one guy is watching. Yep. Love it. That is the way Pueblo, Colorado, my market was 6 years ago when I bought my rentals. Now they are 200K plus. Rents went from 850, then now 1600. Yeah, that's awesome. Wondering, we've seen some of that stuff. I'm still waiting on the interview. Yes, I know. Trust me, I know. Guys, this course, honestly, full disclosure, has kicked my ass. Reshoots, having to redo stuff. I forgot that. I got to add that. And not like giving you a bunch of supplemental videos. It's been a lot. And so you guys have seen in the last month, I've only done lives, and I might have posted one, maybe 2 videos. So yeah, the Hyder interview, I promise you will happen. I want it to happen very badly too. I just got to make sure that we're 100% on the course, which, by the way, we're like, Mike updated on Friday. We're like 85% there. We're like 97, 98% there. We've just like last final things. And honestly, I'm exhausted because most of the time that we spend on that is after my family's asleep. And so now I wish that thing were full. And so 90% of that is later night recording where I've had a chance to write everything out and create everything. Take the documents out of my system, cleanse them of things that you guys can't see. But most of it is like literally right out of our systems, and then like structuring it so then it can be kind of taught. So there's a lot there. But yeah, it's been exhausting. But I'm just so pumped about it. But it's really funny. I'll finish recording at 11 o'clock at night or 11:30, and I'm so amped up from teaching the course. I'd fall asleep until like 2:30. And then I'm up at like 6 with my kids, and I'm like, okay, that 4.5 hours isn't really working. Yeah. Yep. Wandering Dog. Hyder and I talked on the phone the other day for like an hour and a half. A good dude, pretty hilarious. Yeah. Yeah. Hyder's good. He's a good dude. Would you share internet in a house hack with a tenant? In my unit, yes. Out of my unit, no. So if I were hacking to roommates, yes. If it were other units in the building, no. Mm-mm. Nope. RS it's from, oh, that's right. That's right. It's is that one Fury Road? Is that one the Fury Road one? Admittedly, I didn't love that one as much. My favorite by far is the Road Warrior. Because there's Mad Max the original, which is amazing. Then there's Mad Max the Road Warrior, fantastic. Then there's Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, still pretty awesome. And then Mad Max Fury Road with Tom Hardy and Charlize Theron, impressive. But yeah, the original Mad Maxes are more my bag. So I think that one's Fury Road. I want to buy rental properties in Puebla, Mexico. Okay, cool. Matthew Paris, now that Mike and Dion are both here, did you two embrace the cold water yesterday? Oh yeah, that's a good question. 10 years from now, with Matt's help insourcing my PM duties, I'll be in good shape in 3 years. I agree. Water heater advice is money in the bank, super worth the write-offable super chat. Ahem. Ha ha ha. Thanks, Phil. I appreciate that. BF, I've heard you say in previous show that you give a 5-day grace period. Is that a state rule where you are at? Because I don't give any grace period. Rent is due on the first. Late fees start immediately. So it is. So we had. So we do I think it's 3 days. We don't do 5 days. We do 3 days. We had one that if we have conversation with them and they're like, hey, listen, we had blah, blah, blah happen and it's 3 days away, getting paid. And then they can Venmo it that day. That's fine. So yeah, usually it's usually we'll give a 3-day grace period. It doesn't have to be a 3-day grace period. But we like the 3-day grace period. Just because of where it falls with the month. So we like that grace period, but yeah, we usually do 3 days. And you start late fees on the first. Yeah, I think it's not a bad business. It's not a bad business decision. Oh my goodness. Did I just do that again? Oh, here we go. Phil Nealon. Oh man, thank you for the great advice. You're welcome, my friend. Happy to. Let's see. BF, in your area, have the price of ACs gone through the roof? In Vegas pre-COVID, I paid $4,500. Now they cost me $12,000. I got 5 prices. It's crazy. So yeah, BF. So they've not gone up that much. Where we are. So yeah, pre-COVID, we were about the same price. I was about $4,500 for, and that was condenser, forced hot air unit. And I use York. That's my brand that I really like there. And so, yeah, we were about $4,500 and now we're not 12. We're closer to like 85 or 9. Yeah. Yeah. But again, some relationships there helped me get the price lower. Let's see. Keith Hager, complacency is behind me like Satan. I am asking Section 8 to increase my rent on one of mine. Insurance went up 20% and tax went up 20%. New tenants, 2 years, no increase. Yeah, absolutely. Hey guys, it's okay to ask for the increase. If they don't want it, like we have one unit where they were arguing with us. And I'm going to do a video on this, but they actually said that the FMR, so they sent out their standard. The FMR was 1901. They wrote back and said, well, based on our review of the report for this unit, we're willing to give you 1750. What? There's some like scoring that she's doing now. I said, yeah, I don't care about your scoring. Don't care. It's 1900. Market's 21. Pay the 19, or I'll give them a 60-day notice instead of a rent increase. I'll give them a 60-day notice that they need to move out because I'll take the 21 from the market. I'm not going to get bullied around by Section 8 when they've lost in my town. They've lost 30% of their vouchers in the last 6 months. I'm not taking their shit. At the end of the day, everyone needs to pay. Way it goes, whether you're on a program or not on a program. So I'm already giving you a discount. I'm not burdening myself $200 a month more because you have some scoring system you used. Then don't live there. Fine. Bye. Phil Nealon. Well, I have to get, we'll have to get together when you get up here in June. Oh yeah, that's cool. Oh, that's right. You're doing their fishing up there. That's right. BF, my last property I bought last year in Miami, I paid $264. 1 year later, now selling for $450. That's awesome. See, the developer game, BF, is huge because being in the developer game, you better understand land, you better understand the zoning, the approval process, the cost per square foot. You better understand that stuff than 95% of investors. So that's a huge asset. No code on. You need a small refrigerator to refill when you get on a rant and parched. I know, that's true. That's true. Knack neck is in us, isn't that Northern Alaska? That's Northern Alaska, right? I think. I'm 62. I love being KS. I'm 62. I love being a landlord. I do not know how to handle tenants who are rude and disrespectful to me. I tend to be Miss Nice. I understand that. Am retired ministry worker. Understand that too. Any advice to stop these attitudes? So I think, I get it. I get it. I think that the thing that you have to do is you don't want to be the bad guy. And I understand it's hard. It's hard to be the bad guy. But you just need to say, listen, this is what the lease says. And this is the contract that we both signed and how our business relationship is managed. And so you don't want me raising the rent because we have a lease. You don't want me all of a sudden charging you for X, Y, or Z because it's not in the lease. And so we have to use that lease to manage that relationship by. That takes you out of it, makes it not personal. It makes it more business. And that might help you. That helped me in the beginning. Now I don't care. Well, you're a big, fat, dumb a-hole. I've been called worse. And some days you're probably not wrong. I mean, this is what it is. But that's what I would do. I would use that lease and I would just push them to the measuring things by the lease. That will help you, I think, get a stiffer backbone because then you're not the one having to tell them no, you're the one just managing the expectation by which you agreed to in the lease. Phil Nealon, that's like from Minnesota to Texas. Oh, dear heaven, that's crazy. BF, I have the same sleep habits. Yeah, I know, right? Oh, BF, yeah, it's the worst. It's not good. All-nighter. Same way with me on the boat. It's tough to go from working to sleeping in a 15-minute period. Yeah, even when you're dead tired. So true. All right, Stoners. Yeah, Road Warrior's the best. Yeah, okay. Yeah, cool. Tina Turner was awesome. Yeah, she was great. She was great in Thunderdome. BF, KS, just kill them with kindness. It's true. You can try that, but there's still people that are rude. And the other big thing is that I think KS's bigger issue is probably she's afraid or concerned with bringing something up. You have to do it. It's something you can practice. Believe it or not, public speaking. So there's something called Toastmasters. Toastmasters will help you with that. They'll help you with boldness. And Toastmasters is something, I don't know what the new name for it is, but that's something that was really, really good for people that do public speaking. I used to be really shy, but not anymore. All right, so actually, I think she was in Beyond Thunderdome. Correct. Yeah. Road Warrior was not really girl focused at all. There was only Lord Humongous. Oh yeah, such a movie guy. Yeah, huge movie guy. Yeah, for sure. Stoners. Yeah, huge. Andrew Wilkins, good morning, sir. How did Andrew, give me an update on your duplex that you had an offer in? I'm interested to hear where you're at. Millennial Mike. Yes. Yeah, I know, Mike. My deck mate and I speak in movie quotes on the deck, back on the boat. Yeah, for sure. Oh, you didn't do the plunge. Yeah, big baby. REI owners, nice hider. BF. Sorry, that's for a 2-ton unit, 12,000. Yep. Now it's stupid. I checked the AC manufacturer and the units only went up like $1,000. Yeah. So the other big thing, BF, that went up a ton, was the line sets. The line sets went up a ridiculous amount of money, like ridiculous. So the line sets went up a bunch, but yeah, to your point, yeah, the manufacturing, it was up maybe 1,000, 2,000. They're just gouging, because one of the things that I have seen is that it was a lot of times it was still just in time, or you had to order them. You couldn't just walk in and get one. Or if you did walk in and get one, then they only had a couple more left. That'll change when building slows down, when the builders slow down, that will change, because they'll start to have inventory of them again. And I think prices there will normalize. Because it really is, uneducated economist, Simon, absolutely spectacular. Watch his channel, love his channel. That's something you guys should absolutely watch, because he talks about how the supply chain broke, and he's not wrong. He's 100% right. It was not inflation that poured all these things up. It was too much money chasing too few goods, and they broke the supply chain by telling people not to show up for work. And so you couldn't get that material manufactured anymore. You couldn't buy it anymore. You couldn't get parts anymore. Every company went from 7 people in the office working the phones to now 3 or 4. And so everybody was out straight. And so that was my firsthand experience. But yeah, 2-ton unit. Yep. I will never sell any of my properties. I like it. I sold some. Because they were single families, and they were to the point where the market didn't allow for single families to make money. All right, I'm going to call this in a few minutes, guys, because I can hear my kiddos upstairs. I think we have some company that came over. Matthew Paris, good Lord. I don't think AC are that expensive in Florida. Last I checked, you could still get a 2.5-ton in and outside swap for under 5K on a Goodman unit. No line swaps or anything, but still not 12K. Yeah. Yep. Nanek is at the top of Bristol Bay in Alaska, about a third of the way up. Okay. Yeah, I don't know Alaska at all, except for I had a buddy of mine stationed in Anchorage. And some of the guys from our area go there for for the crab fishing stuff. Yeah. Jumping in the shower, Mike, the band hammer is yours. Matthew Paris, I had an indoor unit swapped out mid-COVID for $1,600 by a licensed independent AC guy. He quoted me $3,500 for the package unit. That was in 2021, I believe. Yeah, the numbers went insane from there, my man. They went nuts. Andrew Wilkins, offer sent. Sellers are on a weekend trip. Okay, we'll get more info on Monday. Our agent and seller's agent think they will jump on the offer. All right, well, keep me posted. Matt, just purchased the course and the boot camp. May be the last spot. Yeah, it might be the last spot. Yeah. In fact, I got a message from the team. Yeah, it might be the last spot. I'll have to double check. It's close. It's close if it's not. I get a daily report, so I'll know tonight. But yeah, it's close. Let's see. Matthew Paris. That can't be BF. Housing crash is the worst in the country. Don't you watch Nicholas's channel? Nick Gurley, the sadly duplicated, always wrong doofus. Keith Hager, if you own a business, you can go straight to the wholesaler. Yep. And buy the unit over the counter at their store, then pay a contractor to install it. Keith, that's exactly right. That's actually one of the skills that we teach in my course is how to buy product. I think it's syllabus, not in front of me. That's one of the things that we teach is how to get great deals on products. We teach it. And so it's actually in the course. BF, when I have older appliances that I need to repair, I just replace them. So what you need to do, BF, is you need to find a company that wants used appliances. And you'll do pretty well with that because we aren't just the quick to just toss out an appliance that needs repair, depending on what it is. We learned our lesson with a couple of brands. And so now we stay away from those brands, also in the course. Goodman ACs are the worst air conditioners on the market. And the owner of Mr. Goodman went to prison for vehicular hit and run murder. Yeah, but that doesn't mean he doesn't make bad product. But what it does mean, Goodman's are bad. Yeah, they're not good systems. We use York's. That's our standard is York. It's a really good quality product. We actually have a system standing by that has all the parts. So if we have any issues, we don't have to wait for them to be ordered. We order them. And if they're readily available, we then will use them and get it. But if not, we have a system that we can take it off of. So yeah. Vic Grillo, I missed it, but the market is and will reward patience. Agreed. Yeah, I think that there's still opportunity though. So I think that, well, you should be patient. You still need to be working every day and looking for that next deal. Bill O'Connell, hello, sir. Good to have you. Andrew Wilkins, thanks for the video. You're very welcome. Goodman is really crap units. I wouldn't use it in a doghouse. BF, let's not get nuts. I don't love the units. I like York's and Goodman's were available. They did get significantly more expensive. But generally speaking, me personally, I wouldn't use a Goodman just because they have been difficult for me in the past. Hold on a second. Yes. Perfect. Justin Stanley, someone from my local town posted a video today of their rental. They renovated and listed it 2 days ago. Last night, someone came in and gutted it, stole flooring, all the doors, cabinets, appliances. Oh, that's awful. Oh, that's so sad. Laura Samaniego, I just got a new AC unit installed, $5,000. 2-ton? And what brand? Vic Roll, happy Sunday, y'all. Go Bengals. Oh, dear God. Who is it? Bengals or Bills? Yeah. It's going to be a good game. BF, I've been using Carrier unit, very reliable, good warranties. Yeah, Carrier's good. Yep, Carrier's good. Carrier had the biggest line set issue out there. They had the biggest line set issue out there. Yeah, they were in really bad shape on those line sets. They were going for, typically it's, a couple $100. They were going for over $1,000 in the gray market. It was kind of crazy. All right, guys, that's everything for this amazing Sunday. I appreciate y'all coming and hanging out with me, spending time with me. I appreciate it very much. Matt just signed up. I'll post something later on today and let you guys know. Replacing an AC unit takes all your profits for a year. Yeah, usually. Oh yeah, 2-ton Grand Air. I don't know the Grand Air brand. Yep. Yeah, BF, you're right. Yeah, that's one of those big repairs. We talk about it in the course. Hey, here are 5 things you need to make sure that you're doing when you buy a house. That is actually one of them on there because it can take you out of profit, sometimes for even more than a year. Sometimes it can be 18 months worth of profit. But you guys have a fantastic day. I'm going to go spend some time with my family. I hope that you had fun today. I know how to blast. And thanks for letting me get that off my chest about tenants and that little issue that we had this week. And guys, course, we're a little more than a week away and that thing is live. So I'm super excited for you guys. And if you haven't, make sure you hit that like button on your way out. Guys, appreciate y'all. Have an absolutely fantastic day. Great week. And we'll see you in the next one. Take care, guys.